thank God that hope is not as fleeting as guilty thoughts.
What about like 112? How's that sound? Over 100. If I could get over... My mother always wanted to live to be over 100. She lived to be 95, but she didn't do anything. I mean, she walked around the mall for her exercise, and she ate tons of desserts, and, you know, she didn't really eat right, and didn't take care of herself, but she had a great spirit, which I think really kept her alive. She just handled her things that happened to her in life that were tragedies in some ways. She knew how to handle those things and to keep on living. But I think if she would have had a healthier diet at the time, she probably could have lived longer. But she wanted to live to 100, so maybe I can do that for her, at least that far. I could celebrate my 100th. And I also feel I'd love to live longer because I have 7 grandchildren. I would love to see some great-grandchildren and to be at my grandchildren's weddings. I just think that would be so fabulous to be there and to see them grow. And I'm very, very close with my children. And, you know, I know they would miss me. So if I could stay around and be healthy and they don't have to nurse me, that would be great. It would be fantastic. I'm very excited about it. Because when I was a vegetarian, there wasn't much of that around. You couldn't go into a restaurant and see vegetarian food on a menu. It just wasn't happening. And now there are vegetarian restaurants all over the world. There's vegan and raw restaurants all over the world. I find it very, very exciting. And I always feel like I've had a beat on things before things happen. My kids always say to me, you know fashion before it's happening, you know things that are happening before they happen. And I have instincts about things, and I just feel that that more people are going to be eating more raw foods. I don't know if everybody will be all raw, but it will be part of everybody's life at some point, or many people's lives at some point. I'm really excited. I think I've watched it since I've been raw. I'm absolutely floored. I mean, my Facebook page is filled with people interested in what I do, and I have like over 10,000 people viewed my YouTube video so many times I can't even believe it, because they're drawn and they're really interested to see what I'm doing to stay feeling the way I do. And I just think I think more people want to live longer and be healthy. I think people are starting to understand you can't eat fast foods and you can't be drinking and smoking and not taking care of yourself and have a healthy, longer life. And I think more people are becoming aware of that. I'm in awe that I've just written a book at my age. Seriously, the whole thing has just floored me, because I just retired and I thought, oh, now I'm kicking back. I've always been a kind of go-getter with business and very energetic and making things happen. I've always felt like I've been, you know, done a lot of charitable work and, you know, spearheaded many good projects. And then I retire, and I think I'm going to just retire, and then I win this title of Sexiest Vegetarian Over 50, and I'm back in it. My kids laugh because they say, of course you're back in it, but it's awesome to me. I think it's just great that that people are listening to something I do that keeps me healthy, and they might learn something from it and make them healthy. I've already had so many people write me and tell me they've changed their diet, they've lost weight, they feel much better, and that I've inspired them. And what a great thing, what a great thing to have in life, that you've inspired one person, you know, let alone hundreds of people or thousands of people, that you've inspired somebody. It really makes life feel really great that you're here on this planet and doing some good. I like that feeling a lot. Well, let's see. I think it's being compassionate. I think it's loving yourself. I think it's feeling confident and loving others, being a loving person. I just find that very appealing. I find it appealing in a woman or a man. I find that so attractive when I see somebody who's not a good-looking person particularly, but a person who's got life about them and who gives back to the community in some way. I find that very sexy. And then there's this other part of sexy, which is the feminine thing. Like sometimes I wear a little jean miniskirt with some tights and my boots, and I look in the mirror and I go, that looks pretty good. I feel feminine, and that makes me feel sexy. I feel in touch with my body, and that makes me feel sexy. That's the physical part. But it's really the inner part that makes someone sexy. I mean, I know everybody has their definition of what sexy is, and it certainly to me isn't a physical appearance as much as it is a composite of somebody's soul, you know, what they've done with themselves in life. I find that more sexy. So for anybody to think I'm sexy at this age, just kind of blows me away. The other part of maybe sexy, I don't know, but I have a boyfriend who's 19 years younger than I am, and we're together 9 years, and I think it's pretty fantastic. It shows that it doesn't matter how old you are, you find love, and you can find a fantastic companion, and he's just a fantastic person. He took all the photos in my book, and he's completely supportive of me, and our age difference is nothing. It's never even mentioned. We are so compatible. It's not mentioned at all, and so I find that pretty sexy and fantastic. I feel really lucky. I feel that people are looking to me for things. They ask me a million questions about things I can't even believe that they ask me. I can either answer it or guide them somewhere where they can find that, but that I've inspired people to make change in themselves is really a responsibility, because I don't want to get sick because people look to me for staying well. There's a responsibility there. I don't want to go off and make a big, okay, now I've decided I'm going to wear leather and eat meat, or I don't feel like I could do anything like that. Not that I want to, but I don't feel I can do anything like that. I think that since I've inspired people to clean up their diet, and I believe it in my heart that that's the way to do it, it is a responsibility. So I want to continue in that direction. I want to come up with more wonderful recipes like are in my book, and I want to help people know that they can love themselves no matter how they age, no matter what kind of lines they have, you know, that they should just love themselves and accept who they are, and use their gifts and not be so worried about little things that don't matter. You know, be concerned about the larger picture of life and not to stress out. So yeah, I feel responsible to my 10,000 Facebook friends. I think I make really great food. Everybody always loves my food. My desserts are pretty spectacular. You do have to be dedicated and spend a little time to learn to cook differently, or uncook as I call it. But you really do not to be afraid of the recipes. They're not hard. They're just a little different combinations of things. But it's the same as following a recipe in any book or any magazine you would get. It's not more difficult to make raw food. You just have to learn something, to unlearn what you learned about cooking and learn something new. That's the only thing. And once you get it, you'll be inventing your own recipes in no time. It's really quite easy. It's hard sometimes for people to change. They don't have time. They don't, you know, they just don't want to bother with all the foods. They're so used to making things quick. So I would say a green drink is number one most important thing. And it's so easy. Celery, cucumber, apples, spinach, kale. That's a drink right there. You can juice it, or you can throw it in your blender if you've got to run out of the house. You can even make it at night if you need to. You can throw a banana in there if you need to make it sweeter. That green drink is full of enzymes and nutrients that you probably don't get in a whole day. Because even if you eat a salad for lunch, you're not chewing it well enough. That food is completely pre-digested, easy on your body. So that's the number one thing I would say. For me, lots of greens make a difference. I can tell if I eat parsley and kale salad. I make some really nice dressing with juice and a little olive oil and some seasonings, and I think the more greens you eat and the fresh fruits you eat, I think it's fantastic. I'm more on the greens than I am on the fruits, but I like both of them. And I think, well, I have more than 3, but I think being happy and not being so stressed out about everything is a really big thing. Make choices. Think about if you're dramatizing something or if it really is an important thing to worry about. Are you going to forget what this stressful situation was in a month or a week from now? Or is it going to really mean something? And if you can see that once this situation's over that just occurred, you're going to forget it down the line in your life. And so stressing out is very aging, so that's got to cut that out right away. And get a good night's sleep. That was 4, but you got to get a good night's sleep. I think that's important. It's been really fun. I'm having a really good time. And what's next? What will I do in my 80s? We'll see. Should be fun.
Wow, what an inspiration. I hope you get as much out of this interview as I have.
Leading his guilty thoughts of how we're digging in. Oh, thank God that hope is not as fleeting. His guilty thoughts of how we're digging in.